Mr. Beatley.
Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Just fine. Yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
That's good. We are live on YouTube.
Okay.
Not recording.
Okay,
Okay.
we're live on YouTube, guys. Who's not recording it? That's why. Oh, man.
Just behave ourselves.
Well, I mean, make some effort to appear to behave yourself. You don't have to really behave yourself.
No, it sounded funny when you broke it. That's the one thing I haven't broken. But I don't remember reading it.
Oh, okay, good. I saw it. Yep. And because of having to go to the hospital, it's one of the reasons we have.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Vegan.
Well, when you're 85 and you break an ankle, you
Yeah.
don't want to screw around with that.
Olympics are
Because
coming up.
it could affect your future cross-country career, you know. You're 85, you know, you've got a few good years left, you can get out there.
I didn't even drive in March. Until late to until mid-July. It's an eat.
So is there anybody who would answer the phone here? Who would have the authority to make any change to something for this?
Nope. Gotta be this one. Yep.
Okay. All right,
You guys are the soul authority.
we're it. Heavy is the head that wears the head.
That's right. Oh, yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Waterfall now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're doing much.
See what excitement it's gonna be.
That's why I want to. I'll give that too many. All I do is count months. All I do is read off numbers. Oh. So are we gonna be able to remove that gubernatorial proclamation of the notice? Speaking of, you got to do anything. Oh, God, and why didn't you let me know before I typed up the final? I did not see it. Second reading policy. Okay. But the road looks like that is changing. So it's July 28th, I think it was, something like that. It's after the next meeting. Oh, you got that one not.
He made it.
Made it. Two minutes down. Oh, my gosh. I'm going. All right. Officers. Storm. Yeah, and check. I just have officers and check. Maybe try to change their need to come in. And then in the next sentence, the village clerk is administered the office. So officers, well, guys, not as check. Start with. Then I highlighted. Work.
I'm moving you.
Oh,
No problem.
anything else, my lord? That's it. Okay. Yeah, it's a good thing.
These guys will get, Ed, don't copy off of this paper during the session.
Old habits.
I know.
Yes. Told me I shouldn't have moved Steve. I should have moved Nate.
Yeah, plausible deniability for a while.
That's because everybody else is doing it. It's not an excuse.
Well, do you remember what they said in catch-22? Well, how would you feel if everybody else did this? He goes, well, then I'd be a damn fool not to. Makes sense.
Spelled that Steele's last name.
STEELE.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Steele, can you hear us?
Yep,
Ah, there you go.
can you hear me?
Yes, your email caused quite a
I
stir.
cannot hear you anymore.
Can't hear us anymore. As soon as I go to make a complaint, you can't hear.
Hello?
How to behave. You know, this is the first time in the last two meetings. It wasn't raining like crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Damn, I have to water them all.
I might, I might actually be able to make it out to my car without throwing endorsements in. All right.
I can't hear anyone.
Uh-oh.
You can't hear anybody? Now can you hear?
We're sending out.
You muted?
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Steve, can you hear us?
Yep, he disappeared.
Oh, I'm gonna have to type his name again.
Yeah,
You know, how to
You
spell it.
need to
Just-
know how to spell.
it's an imperfect world, isn't it? You doing?
The computer guy can't open the PDF.
No,
None of us could.
no. No, no.
Hey, he's back.
You know what?
I didn't even try with you guys because you were I should.
Since I'm not on staff, I thought, no, you know what? Hey,
Can you hear us now, Jeff?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
It took several minutes. All
You guys hear me?
Well, it said, please wait. Right. But how? But yeah. How
I say-
What I couldn't wait anymore.
if I save mine to a file, I could go open it outside of Outlook. So this is one of those delightful Microsoft adventures.
Thinking about a couple of those are that, one from Heinz.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Question is, sure. Come stand, there was a fourth thing next door there. When we go for coffee in the morning, there's somebody out for that. So many of them, at River Leeds, there's many of the barriers. It was the first thing I ever saw. It was crowded next door. And there's so many people in school on the said, oh, but the British, how can you believe stuff like that? I said, when you don't have to, so I said, but I know. Right. No, my daughter did tell me that she was hunting. That was, I mean, she's not far from there. She's over the other side of there. My one daughter looked at me, that area, she looked there. What's the problem with cold? And now, when we talked to her tonight, she said, no, I'm not going there. I'm like, come on, it's just.
You never know. I mean, they had another one down in St. Charles that ended up at Delmar Hospital, when they locked down Delmar Hospital. It was a gang related, and yeah, crazy. My daughter works as a nurse. So.
It was all okay though, right?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, I try to stay out next door if I want to be entertained.
Well, that's why I don't, it's crazy. People, I think are crazy. Talking to Mike the other day.
Okay, got 7:30, we'll call the meeting to order, the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag.
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Mr. Moreno.
Here.
Mr. Datley.
Here.
Mr. Hardy. Here. Mr. Thorne. Mr. Hoffman. Here. Mr. Nimitz. Okay, we've got a quorum, we have got a meeting, everyone can hear and everyone can talk back. Okay, the president or the gubernatorial proclamation is still in effect. We are once again allowed to conduct this business with remote attendance. Tonight, remote in attendance is trustee Diatley and village engineer Jeff Steele. George Hoffman, Mark Thorne, Anthony Moreno, Ed Harney are all in the hall at the meeting, along with the Director of Finance, Eugene Van, Chief of Police, Sam Parma, and the Village Clerk, myself. Got at least one more meeting, see if the governor extends this one or not. I'll just have to wait and see. With that said, and everybody can hear us and we can hear them. Minutes. We have a motion to approve the minutes of July 5th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Hoffman. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Being none, roll call please. Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Jackson.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes and no negative votes in motion, so it passes. Okay, president's report. Quiet evening tonight. The only thing I really got is 2 quick items. One, the newsletter articles are due August 10th for the fall edition of the newsletter. And there's going to be a requirement to this newsletter, and that is each trustee will have to draft up a 5,000 word bio. Okay.
I'll just give you my resume. How's that?
Make it 500 words.
I'm on it.
Repeat the word multiple times.
As long as I don't have 499 periods.
Actually, this is a good thing that we would use for the website.
Right.
You know, we would get
That's-
pictures. Everybody can put in.
That's where it's going to end up eventually. But first run will be the newsletter. Yeah,
And we have till August 10th.
you got to long.
All right.
Okay, those are my 2 big announcements. Newsletter article and the 5,000 word bios.
Are we done?
And we're done with mine. Clerk's report. No report, but I'll offer to draft the bios if for a price.
I'll see you.
Got a deal, $5. Pay you tonight.
We send it to you, Tony, when we have it done.
Well, if you try to proofread any of my writing, you'll know that you probably don't want to do.
I'll never recognize it after you edit.
Send them to CM Park.
All right.
We'll pick them up from there. Okay, planning and zoning, there's no one here with them, but they do have their public hearing scheduled for the 25th, 6:30 next week for the text amendments. Attorney's report, he's not with us this evening. Engineer, Mr. Steele.
This past Friday, we had the bid openings for the 2022 street program. There was 5 bids that were received. Prices actually came in lower than what we were expecting at $496.08, which is below our estimation of $341,612. The main difference in that was we're doing some swale work this year, and that price came in extremely cheap as far as that's concerned. So that's where that price difference is. Asphalt was a little bit higher, but obviously we anticipated that. So tonight is if the board could move to award the 2022 street program, and then also authorize the president and the clerk to execute any contract documents.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Steele on the 2022 road program?
Oh, Stefan, I also noticed that you mentioned something about that PDF.
Yes,
Were you able to open that yet or no?
yes, I was.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, all that is just the bid result, basically all the unit prices from the contractors.
Right. That's
Okay.
kind of, interesting read. How will the strike affect it?
The what?
The strike.
I was gonna go into that afterwards. So basically I don't know how much of you guys have been keeping up on that, but basically they've made some progress on it. However, not going as fast as everybody would like. So basically it's just kind of delayed all the projects. Luckily this year we started out early on it, so we might be delayed as far as the finish date in regards to the project. Hopefully that they actually start asphalt production again. So, but I don't anticipate that it should take all that much longer. So.
Okay, any other questions concerning the street program? If not,
But just one quick question. What's the estimate of the time, Jeff, that then once everything is starting to flow?
So basically, as this year, it's actually a little bit longer than what we normally do, just because we're using the Rebuild Illinois funds. So also we were able to do a larger program this year. So we're anticipating maybe about 2 weeks as far as actual construction, and then probably about 3 weeks by the time cleanup and everything happens.
Thank you.
okay, no other questions for Mr. Steele. We'd entertain a motion to award the 2022 Sleepy Hollow Street Improvement Program to Geske and Sons in the amount of $313,496.08.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Harney, seconded by Moreno to award the 2022 street program to Geske and Sons in the amount of $313,496.86. Provided the village does not receive any protest within 7 days of this bid opening. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? Not? Roll call, please. Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Moreno.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes and no negative votes. Motion so passes. The next motion we need is one to authorize the village president and the clerk to execute the contract documents and all other forms required during the course of this project.
So moved, Diatley.
Second, Brandon.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Moreno to authorize the village president and clerk to execute all contract documents as required. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, roll call, please. Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Moreno.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes and no negative votes, the motion so passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything else, Mr. Steele?
That is it.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And we shall move on to the next item. Director of Finance.
Press motion for the accounts payable warrants and the amount of $122,837.01.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Hoffman to approve the warrants for July 18th, 2022, in the amount of $122,337.01.
And then 22,000.
$122,337.01. There we go. Any additions or deletions, comments or questions concerning the warrants? 718. There being none, roll call please. Mr. Moreno.
Aye.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Harney. Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes and no negative votes, the motion so carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything else?
All I got.
Thank you, Gene. Comments from the public. Mr. Parker.
Just keep it short, so I intend this to take a newsletter cost breakdown, because I know it was requested from at least one of the trustees, and I just wanted to clarify a point with the summer newsletter, particularly for you, trustee Hoffman, where you were inquiring into the cost of that newsletter, and that newsletter was completely paid for by the advertisements that were in that. The way that the bill was, I don't know how it was recorded, but you know, all those advertisements paid, and if you added those up, that exceeded the cost of the newsletter itself. And then slightly under that on the sheet is just more info about that subscription system. If you did decide to go that way for the residents that submitted back the service that they wanted to pay, and you weren't sure how much you should be charging, we broke it down, gave you suggested prices. And if you decide not to go that route, we think that the best option would just be simply print maybe 20 newsletters per quarter, stick them in the foyer there, and residents can come get them, because residents have indicated that they do like the newsletter. That is their preferred method of receiving the news, and it's especially beneficial for the older population that is still not digitized yet in the speech and mystic way. So if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me as well, and we can talk things over further.
Thank you, Senator. Okay, next item on the agenda. Trustee reports. Boards and parks. Mr. Harden. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, I signed in late.
Oh,
I am gonna do another letter from the resident for you all. And I've got some ideas down, but I would like, if possible, if anyone from the board has anything that they think or would like me to add to this.
I've been asking that question for 20 years.
I know.
Nobody ever comes up with any
But
suggestions.
if you know, send me send me something and I'll be happy to include it and have you all look at it as I did before, I send it to the street. And I'm happy to do it. I will get it in before the.
Thanks, Kelly.
And I'm gonna be out of town. I'm going down to check on my dad on Monday through the night, but I'll be on my laptop, so you know, I'll be happy and organize myself and administration.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, now, Mr. Harney, roads and parks.
Slow progress with kids around the world. They have asked when we want it done. They said they're gonna come, they were supposed to come out last week and inspect the equipment, but that was the day of the rainstorms. So they called today and they said, no, they're interested, they have to inspect the equipment. I gave options at the last board that I saw regarding the park. And if there's any more discussion going forward with that. Oh, one thing, if Kids Around the World doesn't want it, I talked to Eugene a little bit, maybe we could just have a salvage company come and take it down. So that would be a backup.
Yeah.
Look into. So if there's any more ideas from any of the other trustees getting down the road. Again, remember, if we don't have a contract in place by the end of the year, I think it's gonna go up at least 10%. So. The way other things are going. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Finance, Mr. Hoffman.
Okay, a couple things. The finance committee met last Thursday on the 14th, and we had a number of issues to discuss. And we'll start with the one that's in the agenda tonight is the sticker fees, where we were asked by some of the village residents to that we've been challenged on that to address the sticker fees. So we came up with a option. It was unanimous, and I'll throw it out to everybody. But what it would basically do is change the annual sticker fees, would still remain $40. I mean, I'm talking for the late fees. So we would still have a $40 fee for the sticker. Effective May the 1st, when the stickers have to be purchased, starting May the 1st and through the end of August, the resident would be billed a $5 fee, for being remiss in the in obtaining the sticker. So from May through August, that would be an additional $20 at that point. So you'd have the 40 plus the 20, which you're talking $60. At that point, there would be no additional fees. We would not keep penalizing them, but we would issue them an AWT ticket. They would be issued a ticket for $50. And that's a village ticket, that's an ordinance ticket. And they would have to suffice. If they do not respond to that at some point, and somebody would have to tell me when, at some point, it would then get turned over to court. And they would have to move forward then with the legal expense and the legal ramifications of it. So the changes would be, we would no longer have the doubling of the sticker fee. It would be $40, which is the current price of the sticker, or whatever the price of the sticker is at that time. A $5 late fee for 4 months. And after 4 months, there would be no additional expenses incurred, but it would be turned over to court and a $50 ticket. And then they incur the cost of the ticket, the $20 fine, and whatever fines the court levies on them. So that's what we had thrown out there.
What's the cost of the village going to court? Let's say it gets that far.
If you want me to-
Yes, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it just basically gets added to our regular court file. The danger to the residents in that situation is it's no longer $50.
Right.
Then it goes up to a possible $164 or more when it goes to regular court. So obviously we want to dissuade people from going that route.
So if you look at those costs, 164 on top of the 50 and the 40 and 20, you're talking well in excess of almost $300. And is it worth it just for a sticker?
During when that expires, the May through August, would the resident, do we have capability to notify the resident that if they did go to court, it would cost that much money? So
We send out a second notice. We could probably make some sort of, we can put it in a newsletter or something like that. That, hey, if you even buy your city sticker, it goes to court.
and the potential initial cost
Yeah.
for going to court is X,
Yeah.
And then we would maybe send that as a suggestion, maybe we'd send that, the end of July, right? So they have all of August to know, or even if we send it by August 15th, because court date wouldn't happen right after.
The AWT would go out the 1st of September. And you gotta give them time to complete and pay the
Right.
AWTs.
Right.
So you wouldn't be talking court till October.
Okay, so at least at some point, we let them know that, hey, if you miss this time, then you are subjected to it, and that's fine,
Well, when they get the AWT, they'll know.
right, okay.
They're not paying, they're not going to court if they pay the WT.
Perfect, thank you for,
My suggestion would be if we send the second notice before the AWT goes out. Send the second notice, let them know that if they don't purchase the vehicle sticker, they're going to be getting a local ordinance ticket, which costs $50. If they don't adhere to that, then the next step would be the state court system, or the city court system, which then would be $164. So, I mean, I think it's better to be transparent with this and let people know exactly what they're facing.
Yep.
And then they can't say we didn't notify them and we weren't open and honest about the process.
I think it's an excellent solution, with that, George, to have something that makes sense all the way around.
This way you're not getting penalized significantly for multiple cars and, you know, and we think it's fair. I think it's fair to everyone. I mean, if you can't pay for your sticker within, if you don't, and especially if you can't afford it, or somebody can come to the village and explain, but at the same time, if they're just negligent in it, I don't know what to tell you.
Are we still on stickers for 12 minutes?
Yes, we got one other thing to talk about with stickers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is more than fair, George. I think it's a good idea.
Good article for the newsletter.
Yeah. And also, I know on social media, there was something that came up regarding a resident that had their car in their driveway and no sticker was affixed to the windshield of the car itself. Does our ordinance state that the sticker must be attached to the windshield after it's purchased? I bring it up only because it makes sense. If you're buying as a sticker, you put it on your window. I know one neighbor who says, I have it in my glove compartment, but I don't want to put it on my window. I said, well, use a piece of tape. I said, I peeled them off. Because of my garage, I got all my stickers on the garage and there's still the circle that I peeled off the window. They don't rip.
Yeah,
There's
not anymore.
actually a product, if they could put it on the product, and the product attaches to the windshield. So
No.
it's easily transferable.
They sell them at your competitor. not.
Oh. You know, when you look at that. And I apologize, I didn't look it up myself. But does it state that the sticker must be attached to the windshield and to the right side of the windshield, right hand side?
Read the instructions.
I believe it does state that.
Windshield,
Has to be
lower
displayed.
right hand side of the windshield.
You know, I've occasionally seen them on the left side, that's why you got. But we're having an issue with somebody that says, I have it, but I got a ticket. Well, it states you should have it on your car. So I just wanted to make sure, I just wanted to bring it up. The one, again, all I did was observe it on social media. I did not engage that particular resident. Nor would I on social media. My neighbor on my own street, I've talked with them nicely and explained, and I can restate that to them because it is important to have it. And, you know, again, I bring up the fact my daughter's car's in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. She's got her seatbelt sticker on the windshield. So, okay, well, thanks, George. for the work that I did.
Well, one more component under that, it also came up with the, what was surfaced was a senior citizen discount. And currently we give a 10% senior citizen discount with sticker. What we found out is that senior citizen discount, there's no real verbiage there. At least we believe that specifies one per household or two. And you have some people that they get the senior discount for the entire household and may have 4 or 5 cars. So it's a game they're playing. And, you know, we want to address that. And what we had come up with on Thursday was we would give a 50% discount on one sticker one per address, not per, you know, senior, but one per address per home. They would get a 50% discount, and then all the others would be, you know, full price, would be $40. Now tonight, something surfaced. Eugene, you want to bring up what surfaced?
I was talking to Sharon and Wendy, and they're the ones that will take the brunt of whatever we decide. So they're anticipating the argument, well, but we've always got one on every car and stuff like that. So their suggestion was how about if we do 25% for each car with a maximum of 2? So it still comes out to be the same amount if you have 2 cars. So it'd be $30 if you only have 1 car, $60. At $30 for 1 car, $60 for 2 cars. With the new system, with the old system, it would have been $40 for one, $20 for the other, which would still
Yeah, just for seniors, right?
just for seniors.
How do we validate though that they're seniors? That's my question. Somebody could say, what,
Driver's license.
do you provide a driver's license for everyone?
We can request the driver's license to obtain this.
Because my concern is we'd have people take advantage of that. They'd say, okay, I got two seniors in the household and it might be one or only one drives, but they got two cars. And only one's driving.
Generally, when the guy's got gray hair and he's.
Yeah, how many do you have one day?
Hey, wait a minute, I got gray hair. I'm not a senior yet.
I think that description.
You can kind of tell when they're a senior.
Well, now, what's the age though? What's the?
65.
65.
So I guess way back when, I'm 68, I'll be 68 in September. I've had 3 cars with the senior discount. Last 3 years. Some years ago, we looked at the registration of the vehicles and identified that that's to confirm the residence address, that particular car would have to have a sticker because it's registered in Sleepy Hollow. I'll give the example of my daughter's car. She, again, in Wisconsin, both our names are on that title. I co-signed for it, which couldn't afford them for car payment. So I understand where we want to go with this, but I think that it could raise an issue of if there are 2 seniors in the house or if the car is registered. 3 cars I have are registered under my name and my wife's name. My wife is not 65. I think we may have it. I would throw out the issue that potentially there's an age discrimination issue. Because I have cars that I have under my title or ownership, and yet I'm not benefiting from those multiple vehicles, say 3. So I throw that out there for just conversation and for my comments.
Well, since your name would be on both the titles and the titles for each of them, you would be able to get the 2 discounts, but not for the third one.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, that's where I think it's, that's think about it.
So in order then to avoid age discrimination, and we don't have the seniors to receive this one at all.
I'm bringing it up as a comment, guys, you know, it's,
I don't think there's a discrimination, we're just limiting.
okay.
Not saying it doesn't exist, we're just saying you're only allowed 2.
That's why we have conversations.
And I would think that would apply no different if you go to Menards to get your senior discount out of Menards. There's certain things that it just doesn't apply to, that you can't use it on. That's a limiting factor. I don't think that's discriminatory at all.
So at LOB, you get 10% discount if you're military, teacher, or first responder. And we ask for ID for that. We do not give a senior citizen discount. Again, I throw it out there for conversation. So
The 25% cheaper homes.
Well, the original was
10%.
no 50%. It was 1 for 50% off. The original, what we had decided at Thursday's meeting to recommend to the board was a 50% discount on 1 per address. That would be household, 1 per address. But you're now saying that we want to do a 25% and it'd be a max of 2 per residence, not household, 2 per residence address. Yes.
Same thing, just instead of 150, 225.
It's the same amount of money.
Same amount of money. And I think there was also a question of reprogramming the program. If we go to a 50% discount, we're gonna have to pay to have our program redone. If we just go to a 25% program, it's still valid.
Why would it have to be redone at 50?
Well, it's gonna have to be done either way, but because right now it's at 10, so we just have to change it to 25. But I think there's a limiting factor on it. Most seniors, there's a couple seniors that have more than 2 cars. You know, there was one that had like 6. You know, but there's gonna be reprogramming, but according to what the girls are saying, that it's a lot easier to do the 2 than it is to do the 1.
And if you do the 2 at 25%, and not gonna hear any questions or feedback from residents, it is what it is. And when any of them have problems, come to call me, I'll come over and talk to the resident, I don't have a problem. I'll let them know what the village finances are like. I mean, you know, you gotta draw a line somewhere.
So what do we want to do, gentlemen? Next year, revise our late fee process?
That would be the first, that we take that as a, you know, we're bringing it to a board as a motion, correct? And that would be to revise the sticker fees from the current fees, which can be significant and double, you know, the cost of the sticker plus the fine per month, plus if it goes to court, to the new, which would be $40 of current, whatever the current price of the sticker is, and a $5 fine for 4 months. So it would be from May to the end of August. And then the 1st of September, a ticket would be issued, and then it would be on the resident to go from there. Correct?
$5 per month, right?
Yes, up until
Up until
September, and then that no longer continues. So do we have
Is that
a,
you have a motion?
yes, we,
Second. Moved by Hoffman, seconded by Hart.
so we'll change
Only
the,
work out the details. It's a lot.
One quick question, is that per vehicle?
yes. $40 per vehicle. Yes, not per household. Per vehicle.
We still have to decide about the senior.
And the senior now would be,
That's gonna be separate.
and Anthony, make sure we put that by like, what, resident or address, address by address?
If you wanna vote on the first motion.
Yeah, that's the first motion, I mean,
Here we go.
okay.
Oh,
We're just making sure because we're cleaning it up. So it says address nowadays. So that way,
Okay,
And is that for?
we are,
That's not for
the
any-
motion is to revise the senior discount from 10%.
okay, trucks would be,
We got to vote on it.
hold on one second. Trucks would be, it would be applicable to trucks and all that, but whatever their fees are. What are the fees for trucks?
Penalties going forward for next year will be $5 per month on June, July, August, or May, June,
May.
July, and August. As of September 1st, an AWT will be issued.
Correct.
And they will be due owing the AWT full price of the sticker plus the 4 months later.
Yes,
If they come in anytime during that period, they owe the late fee, the 3 months late fee, or the 2 months late fee, or the 1 month late fee plus.
yes.
Okay. Any further comments, questions?
What about the cost of trucks and all that? I mean, vehicles, large vehicles, do we have any, are the fees different on them? Or they still,
The late fee would be the same.
but the fees would still be the same, whatever they are now?
Well, yeah, everything.
Okay,
We're not adjusting the fees.
okay.
Okay, on the late fee. arrangement. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Not, roll call, please.
Mr. Prano,
aye.
Mr. Natalie,
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passed. Second,
Senior discount. So what we decided is there will be a 25% discount off the current price, whatever the current price of the sticker is, with a max of 2 per residence going forward. And that would be the senior discount versus the 10% today.
Okay.
So can we bring a motion to
just the. senior
adjust the
discount
senior discount fee to
10%, 25% with the
From
maximum
10%.
2 per annum.
Yes, correct.
Moved by Hoffman, seconded by Arnie. Okay. Any other comments, questions, or discussion? Not, roll call, please. Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
Mr. Arnie. Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Mr. Brano.
Nay,
4 affirmative votes, Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Okay, 4 affirmative votes and 1 negative vote, motion so passes. Anything else, Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, two other things that we discussed. The see, we'll do the easy one first. When we talked about the Amazon business program and vehicle expenses, we reviewed that. And there is Eugene sent an update today because I was at the bank real quick. I was at the bank on Thursday Thursday morning or Wednesday morning. And I asked them again, and they still insisted that somebody had to put their signature on there and name with a social security number. But yet Eugene has filled out the form as of today. And on it, the only thing that was missing was social security number, which they had requested on the form. And he's asking about that with this new contact he has. But if I'm correct, though, Eugene, when I read that form and went over the whole thing, it also said, it said social security number or slash TIF or ATIF number.
That's if you're, alien.
If what?
You're an alien.
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a tax identification number.
Want to know what planet you were from?
So,
Space aliens.
At this point now, if it doesn't, and I agree with Eugene 100%, none of us are going to put our social security and name on that sheet, for the village. I mean, there's got to be a way around it somehow. So I know I'm not open to putting my social security number on there in my name. So. Okay, we also talked about the audit process for fiscal 2023. They were here the week of the 23rd of June for a day.
Preliminary.
And they're coming back in what date now?
Because the 15th of August.
Okay. And they will be here for the majority of the week to perform the fiscal audit for this year. And then hopefully is it September 9/14 or something, or that date? I had that. We'll get the preliminaries on it and it'll be presented to the board. Everybody will get a copy. Any questions on that? And then the next motion would be for the medical benefits for
The
Full-time.
ancillary,
what's that?
ancillary influence.
Yes,
So,
the insurance. Do you want to cover part of that, Eugene? To
vision, dental, life, long-term disability.
long-term disability, dental, and vision.
Everything is remaining pretty much the same. With the renewal with our current companies, they have the best rate. With the life and long-term disability, MetLife actually offers a better price, but it is not a better deal. The situation is that if someone gets hurt under the standard plan, if they can't perform their duty of their job function, then they get the long-term disability. So if Kyle got hurt and he could no longer perform the duties of a public works employee, he would be able to get the disability. However, with the MetLife, it is any work. So if he could be hired as the Walmart greeter, he would not get the disability pay. So I think to protect our employees a little bit better, we need to, or should stick with the standard plan.
And again, overall, when you looked at it, we reviewed it, the standard was the best the current one, the best for the village and the associates. So we had agreed, we were in unanimous agreement to move forward with the standard, and that's the motion I'm bringing forward to continue with the standard plan that the village has today for these ancillary medical benefits. So I bring that motion to the board and there's someone to second it.
Second, Diatley.
Okay, we've got a motion by Mr. Hoffman to approve the ancillary insurance renewals as presented, seconded by Diatley. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? I will just tag on briefly to what Mr. Hoffman said about the insurance. While the standard long-term disability is going to cost the village a couple of dollars more than the other two insurances that were quoted, one thing that this board has done historically is provide extremely good insurance to our employees. And I think if we were to try and save ourselves a nickel by cutting them off of a decent program, we'd be just cutting our own noses off to spite our face. Our employees don't have a pension and don't have the backing of IMRF like most of the other municipal workers have. So I think our little bit of better insurance than what most others have is worth it to them. So I'd urge you to vote for it.
And he's correct there too, because when we did a deep dive into this and we looked and I spent some time with Eugene going over it. Yes, there's a lot of deficiencies with what we offer compared to what others offer. But again, we're a small village, and you look at the job they do an excellent job. And I'm absolutely in agreement.
No other comments or questions? Roll call, please. Mr. Prano.
Aye.
Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes. Anything else?
Two other things real quick, and I couldn't leave without finishing last month, legal fees and some of the other fees. As I said, I keep looking at the fees and all that, but we're up to about $5,000 a month right now with legal fees. Barbara's got some fees in there too, which I understand that program. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna resolve the water and sewer and those issues in the very near future, because we've got some substantial fees out there that we're incurring on a monthly basis. I understand, we have to go through those. So I do understand that, and we'll see what we can do. And one other that I had, oh, I did see a couple, Chief. This is on you. Did we buy a rifle? Stegman rifle or something like that? Did we buy one?
We didn't. I right before
It was training.
we're doing, yeah, we sent him to a rifle and shot him.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yes.
Oh, it said Stegman rifle. And I said, did we buy a rifle or something? Yeah, that was the only thing. I knew I had that on there. And I saw that and I figured I had to ask you about that. And
Illinois
only
has,
just looking at the expenses, that's all.
Illinois has different certifications, one for range instruction for pistol, another one for rifle, shotgun.
Okay.
So 2 separate certifications, that's what that's for.
Yeah, the way it was spelled out on there, it just said Stegman, and had looked like 40 caliber rifle.
40 out.
40 out.
40 caliber rifle.
Well, they do have 40 calibers. That's what I was wondering. What the heck did we buy?
Buffalo rifle.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm done. That's it.
Okay, thank you, George. John, I see Barb Etmer's name on the screen. Is she with us?
I believe so.
Ms. Detmer. Detmer?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious,
Whoops.
did not see your name until just shortly here. Did you have anything you wanted to contribute to the meeting this evening?
I'm here, but I can't, I've lost everybody.
Haven't said anything. We're here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yep.
you, yes. Can you hear us? Hello? Okay, well, if you got anything to say, let us know. Okay, moving on.
Sorry,
Water
sir.
and- Okay,
I'm technically inept. I apologize. What was your question? Because I lost you totally.
I just noticed your name on the screen. And we've gone through the Planning and Zoning Commission. I didn't know whether you had anything you wanted to add to that report this evening.
No, sir, we're going to have the public hearing on the 25th. And if I may just address something that Mr. Hoffman said. The billing for the hourly is covered by escrow, so there's no cost to the village. That money's already there.
Okay, yeah, I think I was told that a couple weeks ago, Barbara, so I've got that, especially
Okay.
For the new developments and all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all of that should be in there, and that should be also covering any legal fees or engineering fees that are charged, are supposed to be defined out as the escrow billing, so that the village isn't on the hook for those.
And I did see a lot more permits there this week. I mean, there's been several in our immediate area that I recognize, but I don't know if we're getting more compliance now, or if people are just getting a little apprehensive or what.
I'm not sure, but we're actually over 30 permits behind this year to last year at this time.
We're behind.
We're way behind.
Oh,
Interesting.
I just approved number 97 today, and last year we were at 130 something.
More COVID projects last year.
what's that?
More COVID projects last year.
That's true.
Gas
Yes.
wasn't $5 a gallon.
Okay, and I apologize for my technical ineptitude back here.
That's all right. Okay, anything else, Ms. Deborah?
No, sir. You all have a
Okay.
good evening.
Thank you, Barb. Likewise. Okay, water and sewer. I do not see Mr. Mimic on the screen. We don't have a report from him. We'll move on. Police and Public Safety, Mr. Diatley.
I don't have anything unless the chief has anything he needs to add tonight. Chief?
No, just in reference to the 40-hour rifle course that we did. We've certified all of our officers in pistol, shotgun, and rifle. One of the things that was being done before I got hired was officers were allowed to opt out of whether or not they wanted to qualify with a rifle or whether or not they want to qualify with a shotgun, because most people don't like to get beat up by the shotgun because it does hurt a little bit. I didn't give anybody that option. I made everybody qualify with every weapon that we could potentially carry. So all of our officers did qualify, and some begrudgingly, but they all did qualify.
No, just located shoulders.
No, nothing that I didn't take care of. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Chief. Building and Environment, Mr. Thorne.
I have no report, Mr. President.
Mark. Building and Zoning, Mr. Perino.
No report, sir.
Thank you, Anthony. Old business, any old business to come before the board? No old business before the board, new business. We've got one item under new business left. We've got a resident who has appealed her vehicle sticker late fees. I provided you all with a copy of her letter. And as you all know, no one of us can waive any fees that are imposed by the village. It takes board action. So this is an agenda item for your decision this evening. Should we honor her request and waive the late fee?
I know it was a handwritten note, and to be honest with you, I had difficulty understanding it. would you be able to have a minute summary of what is in there?
The brief summary in here is that she had broken an ankle and was in the hospital for 6 weeks during the period of early March. About the time we sent out the applications. She did not get home until later in the spring. She and her daughter overlooked the application. When she sent her daughter down to get the ticket or the sticker, she ended up with the ticket with the AWT, I believe, and the sticker fee. It cost her $130. At which point her daughter did not have the money for the sticker and the fee, and she came home, and thus the request from Joanne asking that we waive the late fees. It's
What?
85 or 88. If I can read right.
Is the 130 was the total amount of late fee?
I think that was the sticker fee, the late penalties, plus the AWT fee.
And right now, there's now outstanding of $130.
What will the what, has it gone to court yet, or? has it-
No, they'll still, so the AWT is the $50, so it would be 40 plus doubling at 80, and then 50 would be the 130. That's how it came to that amount.
40 is 80 and 50 is 130.
So
That's fine.
is there,
It's actually 145. Should be 145,
So is that what she's owing, 145?
because it's $40 doubling plus the $5 extra per month.
And she lives on Surrey, right?
Correct.
Is your daughter an adult? And does she live at that address?
I don't think so.
I mean, you got some extenuating circumstances, but I don't want to set a precedent. I mean, I could see if we want to do something, but I'm sorry, I mean, it is,
and I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think the $50, just from discussion, $50 AWT fee, I think should stay. The $40 for the original sticker should stay. And the what I would say is I would reduce the $40 penalty. The $40 amount penalty. So it'll be the 50 plus the 40 would be 90. But then there was
3 months later.
right, there's another 15. So I would just knock off the $40 double. AWT would stay. Original 40 would stay. And maybe we could talk about the late fee, make it just $5 instead of 15.
well, if she's paying the AWT, if you're gonna do that, I was looking at maybe doing. She pays 50% of it, but if you do 50 and 40, that's 90. I'd be more than complacent with, I mean, not complacent, I'd be more than happy with that. I mean, I understand that she had circumstances and all that, but her daughter came over and said she couldn't pay for it. I don't know why. I guess because
No, the daughter, she wrote a check. The daughter had a check for the amount of the sticker. And came down and we assessed all the other fees, and it was more than the check was.
oh, okay.
So she went home to her mom and gave her back the check.
So if we did I'd say if we did the 40 and the the AWT, what do you think of that? Or
I think the AWT, because that's a legal thing, right? That's already something where a ticket was issued.
has it been processed already? Ticket processed and all that?
It's been written, it's in the system. It hasn't gone outside of.
Hasn't gone outside. I mean, in reality, it could be voided. Yes, no?
It can be.
I don't think it should be 40.
Yeah.
40 and the 50.
The 40 to 50.
The 40 and 50 would be would suffice, I would say. So we've dropped it from 145.
That, we respond to her with an offer to take the AWT and $40 for the sticker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All even.
And then if it was 145, you know, she's getting $50 of $50 dropped off.
Almost a third.
I mean, I think that's fair.
145 was, what was that calculation again? So it's for,
40 for the sticker, right? You double it, it's 80. 50 for the AWT, and then there's
And
3
then-
months, $5.
So that's significant, and we're gonna just do the AWT and the $40. And, but if we
Okay,
just
that's your
forgave it,
motion?
pardon me,
That's your motion? We
Yes.
accept, we will accept the
we will accept the
AWT and the $40.
and the $40 fine in this exception,
For $40 sticker.
$40 sticker, I mean, $40 sticker and the AWT as a
Yeah,
one-time exception.
I would say.
Okay, moved by Hoffman, seconded by Moreno to respond to the residents' appeal with an offer to accept the price of the sticker, $40, plus the payment of the AWT for $50, for a total of $90.
Yes.
Any further comments, questions, or discussion? There being none, roll call, please.
Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
Mr. Harney. Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman,
Aye.
Mr. Brandon.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes. Gentlemen,
Is there a formal appeals process that somebody like this thinks they've been,
us.
but I mean, it has to get to us, but I mean. So she wrote a letter to the
We
village.
wrote a letter to me.
Okay.
She could have written a letter to, any of the other trustees too,
Or appeared in person.
or appeared in person.
Sorry.
There's, I think there's two different things in play here, though. So there's the formal appeal to the board to you to waive the fees. There is a process in place to appeal the ticket, that's separate. So they can go through the process to appeal any ticket that we issue, any AWT can be appealed to the village or through the police department. And then we would look at it, and it goes first to the officer, then it goes to the supervisor, and then it ends up on my desk for final approval if it's deemed to be avoidable ticket. The lady forgot to put her sticker on her car, but had it, that might be something that we would consider in that scenario.
In that scenario, would you also, is there also an option to reduce the AWT fee?
Yeah.
It's either all or zero.
Yeah. Now, there is an additional, so if I was to deny it, there is an additional option where they can come to our local adjudication, which is on the last Wednesday of every month. And they can appeal then to the administrative law judge. And then the administrative law judge is free to do pretty much whatever she wants at that point. So there are some options in play.
Okay, any other new business to come before the board?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thorne to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Hoffman.
Aye.
Mr. Harney. Mr. Dattley.
Aye.
Mr. Brandon.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes. We are adjourned. We will see you on August 1st.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Steve. Likewise. Jeff, we got stuff we need to sign tomorrow? Steve?
We have to wait that 7 days until
Oh, okay.
you can do all that. But yeah, when that's ready, I'll let you know.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
Likewise.